The AFCBell confirms James Maddison official talks underway. That is right, my friends. Today the AFCBell has spoken. And so what exactly has the GOAT of Arsenal transfers said on the transfer of James Maddison? Are Arsenal also in for Lyon central midfielder Bruno Guimaraes? Let's find out in today's episode of The Transfers FC. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to the boys channel. As per, your boy would massively appreciate if you guys can go down there and smash a like on the video, and while you're down there, please do consider subscribing to the boys channel, because we are on the road to, dare I say, the big 100k, and then you guys can make it happen. But let's get straight into transfer news and straight into talking Mr. James Maddison. Yesterday, the first real mainstream media outlet in Sky Sports were reporting that Arsenal had official interest in James Maddison. But of course, the person that broke the transfer in the first place was a certain AFCBell. And if you know anything about Arsenal transfers, you know the AFCBell is the GOAT for transfer news. So today they are saying an Arsenal appointed broker has begun to test the hearts of Leicester City in a round of back-channel talks about a possible deal to sign James Maddison. The feeling in the club's camp is that Maddison is not untouchable. Now, in the past, the AFCBell has already confirmed that Arsenal were already in talks with representatives of James Maddison, and they also confirmed that Arsenal put forward a £200,000 a week contract to the player. But in terms of today, the AFCBell can confirm that Arsenal have officially begun talks with Leicester City directly, club to club, trying to sort out a deal and find an agreement. And this is where it starts to get a little bit spicy. The Bell also says that Arsenal open to negotiating with Leicester for Maddison and reaching a compromise regarding the price to suit all parties. But if Leicester insist on an astronomical amount, the club will turn to other options. Martin Odegaard could be an alternative. So Arsenal was saying, listen, in terms of £60 million, potentially £70 million, we can put that on the table. But if Leicester City are to become just a little bit more greedy, then Arsenal will move on to other targets, in particular, as the Bell says, a certain Martin Odegaard. But as the AFCBell has already reported, Maddison is not an untouchable Leicester player, and that indicates to me at least that Leicester have a certain price tag which Arsenal believe they can match and they can meet. The Bell also says it is understood that one of the reasons of the valuation gap between both Arsenal and Leicester is that Norwich included a clause in the sale of James Maddison that would entitle them to a percentage of profit of any future sale between 10 and 15%. What is it with Norwich City and Arsenal Football Club? First, it was a transfer of Emir Buendia, which we're going to put to one side, and now you man are interfering with the transfer of James Maddison. Please, just leave us alone. The Bell also says senior sources very close to the negotiating table say the decisive factor in the James Maddison deal is not Arsenal's ability to provide the value of the deal, but the matter that the club want to do more work in this window and will not overspend madly on one deal. So Arsenal are making it abundantly clear to Leicester, while they personally believe they have the funds to make Maddison an Arsenal player, they also have to save some money for a central midfielder, a right back and a potential centre forward. Now, what your boy believes is Arsenal will put forward an official offer for James Maddison within the next few days or the week, and it then depends on how much money Arsenal's first offer is. If it is a fee of £50 to £45 million, Arsenal, forget about it. But if the first bid is closer to £60 to £65 million, then mi amigos, we are talking a certain James. But for that price tag, what are we getting? As Orbinho says here, here's Maddison's Premier League stats. With 8 goals and 5 assists last year, 6 goals and 3 assists the year before, and 7 goals and 7 assists in his first Premier League season. All those numbers that justify the £60 to £65 million price tag of James Maddison. That, my friends, I'm going to throw it to you guys down below in the comments. Would you be happy to see Arsenal spend £60+ million on this James Maddison? But as the AFCBell said, Arsenal do have alternatives, and one being a certain Martin Odegaard. And today on that, Madrista Real say Odegaard has always wanted to be a star at Madrid, but he thinks he is a better player at Arsenal, where he was very happy. That is why he is considering his future. So this source has now confirmed that Odegaard is having second thoughts about his future at Real Madrid. In terms of Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, they have always made it clear they would love to have Odegaard back at Arsenal. It's just a matter of the player himself and also the price tag that Real Madrid have set on the player. Well, on that, Chris Wheatley has confirmed on on his Instagram that Real Madrid are asking for around £35 million if they are going to sell Martin Odegaard to Arsenal this summer. And you know what? I do smell a cheeky little discussion. So let's talk down below on £35 million for Martin Odegaard, or would you prefer £65 million on the Premier League proven James Maddison? I am looking forward to a gargantuan discussion. Okay then, moving on, let's discuss a certain Bruno Guimaraes. The OGs of this channel will remember that your boy did a video on this specific player back in the window of 2020. Now that was when the player was still playing in Brazil, since then he has signed for Lyon. And if you guys are to remember correctly, the reason why Arsenal wanted this player in the first place was because Granit Xhaka looked set to leave to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Of course then Xhaka stayed, but now the fact that he is leaving to Roma, Arsenal look to have turned their eyes back to a certain Bruno Guimaraes. As Brazilian reporter Yesa Simplicio says that Arsenal have already held some conversations with Lyon over Bruno Guimaraes and is evaluating the possibility of making an official offer for the midfielder. In terms of the source here, according to a lot of people, she is a reliable source and a reporter when it comes to Brazilian transfers. And in the player himself, your boy is a massive fan, and this could be a stupendous transfer. The report also claims that Lyon would be willing to open talks with Arsenal over Guimaraes if the Gunners make an offer above £30 million. £30 million is money that Arsenal definitely have, because Arsenal have already had a confirmed offer of €40 million made for a certain Manuel Locatelli. But with that player preferring to go to Juventus instead, it seems as if Edu Gaspar and his Brazilian contacts have identified once again a certain Bruno Guimaraes. The source claims that Lyon need to raise funds. Not qualifying for the Champions League made the club fail to earn almost €120 million. Therefore, they would reluctantly consent a deal provided the price is right. Now this is where things start to get very interesting, because in the final game of the French season last year, while Lyon couldn't qualify for the Champions League, it was a certain Arsenal loanee and William Saliba who put a dagger through the hearts of Lyon to end their Champions League hopes. And it's because of that Saliba dagger that Arsenal could now inadvertently be getting a certain Bruno Guimaraes. Thank you very much, Mr. William Saliba, the Mbappe of centre-backs. Goal in Brazil also have confirmed that Arsenal have put Guimaraes on their radar, and a Brazilian journalist in Sergio Santana, also close to the people of Guimaraes, says there's definite interest from Arsenal, but talks are at a very early stage. Nothing will be defined while Bruno is focusing in the Olympics. The fact that Guimaraes is currently playing at the Tokyo Olympics makes this deal a bit more complex. But in terms of the player himself, what are we potentially getting? Well, here is a graph which shows all of Guimaraes' strengths, and as you guys can see, in terms of the grade, the passing and the dribbling, Guimaraes is a top central midfielder. But also keep an eye on the red, and in terms of total tackles and pressures, Guimaraes is a very good option to replace Granit Xhaka. And talking about man like Granit, let's compare both players. Here you've got a photo with Guimaraes the blue and Xhaka the red. And as you guys can see, Guimaraes matches Xhaka in most departments and outdoes him in quite a few others in terms of progressive carries, attacking value, and also tackles per 90. And so at 23 years of age and £30 million being the price tag, I myself am all for this transfer. But what are your own thoughts on the Lyon central midfielder, and is he the player that you want to see Arsenal sign if we can't get a certain Manuel Locatelli? Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Ben White has signed his contract with Arsenal until June 2026. Official announcement soon. Done deal and confirmed. The paperworks have been completed between Arsenal and Brighton too for £50 million fee. Sky Sports' Dharmesh Sheth also claims Ben White has had his second part of his Arsenal medical ahead of his £50 million move to Brighton today. So all that is left now is Arsenal to confirm the player, and with tomorrow being a beautiful Friday, I think we could get a cheeky little Ben White official announcement. So my guys, let's stay tuned. Okay then, moving on to the other Arsenal news today. First things first, Hector Bellerin's agent today has been in London speaking to the Arsenal executives. This was confirmed via Chris Whitley and James Bench. The Hector Bellerin's agent was in London meeting with Arsenal's technical director Edu Gaspar as they look to find a solution over the Spaniard's future. I believe that Hector Bellerin, now of course Hector Bellerin wants to go to Inter Milan, and they so far have not offered Arsenal the money or the contract or any sort of offer that Arsenal wanted to accept. But with the player's desire being pretty clear, I think today the agent's job was to try to force a deal and force Arsenal's hand. But in terms of Bellerin's replacements, who exactly are Arsenal going to sign? And we were not getting linked to any right backs as it is. And if you look at the market itself, it is a very dry market when it comes to top quality young potential right backs. But if there is a certain someone that your boy is forgetting, my guys, the comments are down below, so let's use them. Sports Pete on Aaron Ramsdale. We all know that Arsenal have made these two bids which have been rejected. I fully expect them to come back with another bid, probably not as much as £30 million, probably 25 rising to 30 with add-ons. Arsenal are really keen to do this deal. 25 great British million pounds for Aaron Ramsdale. Oh my goodness gracious me, Arsenal. I have to keep asking, what are you even thinking here? Well, according to Peter Rourke, he claims, from what I am hearing, it is Arsenal's goalkeeping coach who is really pushing for this deal. He's put Ramsdale on the top of his list. He wants him in rather than other goalkeeping targets. For that reason, I think this deal will get done. This is the same Donny that recommended for Arsenal to sign a certain Alex Renarson, so make of that what you will. But I will always make it clear, for £25 million, I am not for the Aaron Ramsdale transfer. But what are your own thoughts on Ramsdale to Arsenal? Are you against it like your boy, or are there some very few people that are for this? And if so, give me some good reasons why, because right now your boy is struggling. But that is the video there and there. If you have enjoyed, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and while you're down there, please do consider subscribing to the boy's channel. If you want to follow your boy on them social medias, the links will be down below in the description. That was the latest episode of the Transfers FC, and tomorrow should be the day we can finally announce Ben White, and then on to a certain James Maddison. Until then, I will see you guys soon in a bit.